entertainers, athletes, and more. And at entertainers, this award is one of the very few that Elvis ever showed up for. His acceptance speech is still on YouTube from 1970, and Priscilla has pointed out many times, it's also one of the few that he expressly wanted displayed at Graceland, where you can still see it today, and it looks just like these that will be given out tonight. This evening's honorees, ladies and gentlemen, are Jessica Laurie Armstrong, Senior Master Sergeant David Boyd, Jimmy Charles. I was in JC in Nashville too. Jason Coleman, Marjorie K. Eastman, Lindsay Gass, Kyle Rawson, Eric Servo-Servion, Alex Simon, and Peter Urschler. Now, tonight's program would not be possible without the generous support of sponsors including the Quad Cities JCs, the Mount Prospect JCs, the Chicago JCs, the Eastern Institute, the Mid-America Institute, Dr. Hans Mung from the TOYA class of 2005, Rita Serrano, Jeff Blank, the New Dayton JCs, and the Pennsylvania JCs. Thanks to all of these and to all the patrons who supported this year's program. Now, please welcome to the stage your 2019 TOYA program managers from the great states of Illinois and Maryland, Vanessa Birchler and Jess Blaine.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank you for joining us for this very, very special occasion. This year's honorees and those that came before them without knowing it exemplify the last line of the JC Creed. Service to humanity is the best work of life. We have really enjoyed getting to know the stories and the people behind tonight's event. We would encourage you to go through your programs, not only to learn about tonight's honorees, but we have special programs at every table. There's at least one program signed by tonight's honorees. So take a look through. At least one of you per table has one. So while you're doing that, we would also like to invite you to stick around during the second intermission, because Jimmy Charles will be up here entertaining us with others. And now, the part we've all been waiting for. Let us meet this year's class of 10 outstanding young Americans.
Thank you, Vanessa and Jess. I am honored to be serving as MC for the 81st TOYA Gala. We also want to take a moment to recognize some honored guests who are with us this evening. All veterans in attendance, please stand and be recognized, would you please? We've got a terrific past in the Junior Chamber organization, but there's also a future. But all of you who have been JCs less than a year, please stand. New JCs. There you are. A group that gets an awful lot done for the organization and their communities. Would all JCI senators please stand? The people who selected these 10 honorees tonight are TOYA judges. Judges, stand please. TOYA honorees of the past, we're glad to have you with us. Could you please stand? Alumni. There we are. Now, ladies and and gentlemen, please welcome some very distinguished individuals. United States JCI Senate President Lawrence Pittman. Junior Chamber International Vice President Jay Johnson. JCI USA's Interim Executive Director and the past Global President of Junior Chamber International, Dawn Hetzel. And please honor these folks who have served as past National Presidents of Junior Chamber International USA. Our 90th President was Jeff Blank. The 94th President, Faye Walsh. Our 95th President was Jennifer Ray. Serving as President number 97, Heather Bardell. Your 98th President, Noel Knockreiner. The current 99th President of Junior Chamber International USA is Tricia Meany. And please welcome your 100th President-elect of JCI USA from Montana and now proudly from Colorado, Justin Wutzke. As we do begin recognizing the honorees this evening, we'd like to remind everyone to silence your cell phones, and if you do need to leave the room during the honoree presentations, please note you won't be able to re-enter until the next break in the presentations. So without further delay, as Jess and Vanessa said, let's meet the first of our 10 honorees for 2019. Please direct your attention to the screens to learn about Jessica Lori Armstrong, who has dedicated her life to providing a voice for the voiceless.
She currently serves as the Assistant Team Coordinator with the First Coast Child Protection Team and Assistant Director with the UF Division of Child Protective Services and Forensic Pediatrics. She completes forensic interviews with severely abused and neglected children to get evidence needed to prosecute the perpetrator. Her job requires her to hear the horrific details while containing her own emotions. Lori has an amazing prosecution rate, with only one of her child abuse cases being unfounded in the past 6 years. In addition to her work with abused and neglected children, Lori also works to aid victims of human trafficking and provides training for community partners on how to recognize the signs of human trafficking. Lori's biggest accomplishment is helping hundreds of children go from victim to survivor. She's not only conducting interviews, but is there for moral support during medical procedures, helping collect evidence, testifying in court, and making sure these survivors are in a safe place. Lori has been deemed an expert witness in criminal and dependency court and is a certified victim advocate through the Attorney General. Lori lives in Jacksonville, Florida with her husband Sam. Please welcome one of your 2019 10 Outstanding Young Americans, Jessica Lori Armstrong.
The fact that I got the email last night, I felt a bit like
Thank you, Lori, so much for your dedication. Our next TOYA recipient has found a way to create positive change and serve humanity across the globe. Join us as we learn more about Senior Master Sergeant David Boyd.
The United States Air Force following the September 11th attacks. Over the past 17 years, he has served as command and battle control management operator on numerous deployments around the globe. He has had 8 different assignments in 5 countries where he has been recognized with numerous awards during his career. David has also been recognized multiple times for his selfless service to the community. His 8 moves in just 16 years could have deterred him from staying active in the communities he lives in, but it hasn't. His contributions during these brief stays include leading the Lunch with an Airman program at local grade schools, volunteering at Boxer Love Rescue, caring for abandoned dogs, assisting a local South Korean orphanage with collection drives and the planning of holiday parties, volunteering with Special Olympics and Autism Speaks organizations, volunteering as a youth sports coach, and last but certainly not least, serving as an Army Master Resiliency Coach, leading training to help military members cope with stress. While stationed at Misawa Air Base in Japan, Sergeant Boyd encountered his largest humanitarian crisis mission, following a 9.0 earthquake that triggered a tsunami. After he got his family to safety, he returned to assist with search, rescue, and cleanup efforts. Local community leaders lauded him for the hours he spent helping farmers and families to get back on their feet. For his efforts, he was awarded the Humanitarian Service Award and was named Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year. At his next duty station in Fort Hood, Texas, he was awarded the Fort Hood Hero Award for his work with the local VA hospital. He set up the first ever partnership between the squadron and hospital to provide support during holiday events and ceremonies honoring veterans. David's dedication to help people is evident in all he does while in and out of uniform. Sergeant Boyd is currently stationed in Germany with his wife Clarissa and sons Talia and Brady. Please welcome one of your 2019 10 Outstanding Young Americans, Senior Master Sergeant David Boyd.
Michigan over there. I'm Colorado, and I'm an Ohio State Buckeyes fan. But Michigan has adopted me and my family, and so thank you guys. Thank you, Michigan. I want to thank the JCs and the TOYA committee for putting on this fantastic event. And it's really humbling that my name's up here and I'm up here. You guys made it easy for me, and I didn't make it easy for you for being in Germany. But you guys made it really easy for me, and I appreciate what you guys have done for the JCs and TOYA. For my fellow honorees that I'm sharing the stage with tonight, and it is humbling. The work that you guys are all doing in your communities and in the world is making a difference. It's truly inspiring. So for all the award winners tonight, you guys are inspiring so many people. So please continue to do what you're doing because it's making a difference. None of us are here by ourselves. We didn't get here by ourselves. We all have a team, a support group that is behind us. And I'm blessed to have an amazing support group of family, friends, and coworkers that push me to be better every day. And it starts for me with my number one, that's my wife, Vanessa. She's not able to be here tonight because she's in Germany with my kids in school and after school activities. But that's what makes us the team that we are, because we have each other's back no matter what. And I would not be here without her. She could easily be the one getting the award because she does amazing things in the community, the schools, and helping other spouses. And military spouses, military children, to me, they're unsung heroes of this nation. They really are. We wouldn't get anything accomplished in the military if we didn't have them as our backbones. And every day my kids amaze me. They're the most resilient kids I've ever known. And my daughter last year started 6th grade, and it was her 6th school and her 4th country that she has lived in and gone to school in. And resilient. They make friends. My son and my daughter make friends, and they are able to see cultures. And if that's not what we're about, then I don't know what we're about, because it's about everybody getting along, everybody doing their part, and it doesn't take money to make a difference. It just takes time and effort and willingness to put the time and effort into something. Part of my team, I'm blessed to have my parents here, Paris and David Boyd. And, you know, they're the ones who set the example for me. They're the ones who showed me the importance of being active in the community and volunteering and just giving back. And just those simple things that they showed me, and I just want to give that back to everybody else. And so, Mom and Dad, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys coming out here. Thank you for setting the example for me, and thank you for always supporting me. I know I'm running over time, so thank everybody. It's truly humbling. I'm truly honored to be here, so thank you.
Thank you, Senior Master Sergeant, for your service in the U.S. Air Force and for your service to humanity across the globe. Please return your attention to the screens, ladies and gentlemen, to learn about the Mayor of Phoenixville, Peter Urschler.
Peter Urschler's involvement in government began at Stetson University. He served as one of the youngest Student Government Association vice presidents and was a two-term president. Peter's most notable accomplishment as a member of SGA was the implementation of Faces of Frat, a statewide advocacy initiative to raise educational grants from the Florida State Legislature. 2 years of advocacy led to a $17 million increase in FRAG, impacting 30,000 students. Peter's involvement with Stetson continued after he graduated through his involvement in the Alumni Board of Directors and as advisor to SGA. While still in college, Peter was recruited to work for SEI, a major international financial services corporation based in Philadelphia. He and his parents, who he served as their primary caregiver, moved to Phoenixville, Pennsylvania for Peter's career. In 2014, Peter opened 235 Bridge, a boutique consulting firm serving the unique needs of small businesses and municipalities in the areas of strategy, communications, marketing, and growth initiatives. Balancing work and his responsibilities as a caregiver, Peter will still find time to give back to his community. He served as president of the Phoenixville JCs and Pennsylvania JCs, chair of the Phoenixville Regional Chamber of Commerce Ambassador Committee, and advisor on giving to the Headstrong Foundation. In 2017, Peter was elected mayor of Phoenixville, the youngest in the borough's 169-year history. He has championed several causes, including affordable housing, increased services for senior citizens, public transportation, reducing educational attainment gap for economically disadvantaged families, and total equality protections. Peter resides in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania with his two dogs, Ina and Ian. Please welcome one of your 2019 10 Outstanding Young Americans, Peter Urschler.
Members of JCI, fellow honorees, and guests, it is both a great honor and a humbling experience to stand before you this evening with a heart full of gratitude as a 2019 TOYA recipient. I am a proud first-generation American, the son of Norma and Emil Urschler. His life began in a small flat in St. Gallen, Switzerland, the youngest of 5 siblings. His father was an abusive alcoholic. He once told me that his only dream was to love his child, a dream that he fulfilled with every breath he took from the moment I was born. Her life began on a dirt floor in a thatched hut in Bacan, Sorsogon, Philippines. She was an only child. Her only toy, a rag doll that her mother had made for her. At just 14 years old, she was sent to her country's equivalent of Harvard to get her master's degree in science and nursing. For over 20 years, she would send the entirety of her paycheck back to her family to help pay for the education of over 27 extended family members and community members. I was the 28th person she would ensure had the priceless gift of an education. He was 54, and she was 38 when they met and married in Sydney, Australia. 2 years later, they would move to a rural town in Central Florida, where I was born. Both reached their final sunsets in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Mama at 70 on a cold winter's day in 2014 after a battle with stomach cancer. And Daddy at 90, peacefully in his sleep. The night he held the Bible, as I was sworn in, his only child, into the office of mayor. That fateful night, on January 2nd, 2018, one amazing volume of my life ended, and my parents gently guided me to the blank pages of the next book. They were the only family I had. All that was and ever will be just mine. But in that transition, I vowed that I would make every decision and take every action as if I were doing it for just them. That night, I lost the family of my blood and gained an entire community, our human family. The greatest threat that faces our family today is indifference in all its forms. Indifference to those we see, those we cannot see, and towards our environment. We live in a world so sorely deprived of civility and kindness, and yet we are called to be the ones who go into the world each day with the belief that we will find it and a willingness to share it. We must open ourselves. We must have the courage to be vulnerable, and we cannot be afraid to take the hand of the person standing next to us, no matter what they look like, how they pray, who they love, or the mistakes that they've made. We are all imperfect people, and we live in an imperfect world. But the opportunity we have to share the love within us, to lift up our neighbors, no matter how far or close they are, casts a brilliant light that radiates far greater than the darkness of hatred. Through justice, fairness, and ensuring opportunities for all, our family can overcome divisions and reconciliation, so that the benefits of our progress and prosperity may be multiplied and shared. I can lay no claim to this or any accomplishment that has been ascribed to me throughout my life. Only the gratitude that my life is a reflection of the extraordinary people in it. My life is a reflection of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter, for being such an inspiration. Inspired yet, everybody? Yeah. Ooh. Getting hot in here, so we will now take a 10-minute intermission in tonight's program. Back in 10 minutes for more of the 10 Outstanding Young Americans. We'll get back underway in just a couple minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Please find your seats again, and we'll get started again shortly. everyone who please find a seat will resume tonight's program. Grab a seat, everyone. We'll continue with more of this year's 10 Outstanding Young Americans. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for rejoining us. Our next recipient of a 2019 TOYA trophy, Jimmy Charles, has turned his passion for music into a symbol of hope for those warriors battling cancer.
A talent and passion for music led Jimmy Charles from Maryland to Nashville, Tennessee. His music career highlights include opening for such artists as Lady Antebellum, Kip Moore, Casey Musgraves, and most recently, Josh Turner. He was a contestant on season 9 of American Idol, advancing to Hollywood. His passion doesn't stop with music. It continues with helping others. Jimmy has been involved with many causes in Nashville, including Give a Little Nashville, which provides toys to kids at Christmas, and God Will Give Nashville, which feeds, clothes, and brings love to over 3,000 homeless people on Thanksgiving Day. In 2014, Jimmy wrote the song Superman about cancer survivor Phil Schulka in an effort to bring awareness for men to get checked for prostate cancer. The song touches people affected by all types of cancer, and Jimmy knew he had a tool that could get people's attention and truly save lives. Because of the song, he was asked to be spokesman for Zero Cancer, and Superman was named their anthem. He has appeared at events nationwide and on countless morning radio and TV programs to perform and bring awareness to local fundraising events and the importance of early detection. Since his involvement with Zero Cancer began, $5 million has been raised for cancer research, awareness, and treatment. Jimmy's involvement also took him to Washington, D.C., where he helped advocate for more money for prostate cancer research. The group successfully added $10 million to the budget, the first increase in over a decade. In 2018, Jimmy formed I Am Not Alone, a nonprofit that specifically deals with the emotional side of cancer. I Am Not Alone helps to build the spirit of those fighting cancer, to make sure they have the love, support, and inspiration needed when fighting cancer, and attitude is everything. Jimmy resides in Nashville, Tennessee with his fiancée, Miranda, and son, Charleston James. Please welcome one of your 2019 10 Outstanding Young Americans, Jimmy Charles.
Make you dance, make you love, make you cry, give you hope, give you strength, even save lives. I'll tell you, when I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, from Maryland to my new home now in Nashville, it was about a 12-hour drive, and I had a lot of time to reflect upon myself, to the Lord above, and talk to both myself and Him. And I said, there was a series of events that happened that I saw the light of music, and I knew this was something I was supposed to do, not because I just like to sing, but because I knew there was a gift there, and there was something else. And I prayed. And the first thing I prayed for was not fame. I can tell you, fame is something that is a responsibility of success. If you're seeking fame, you're seeking something that's probably not good. You're seeking to be better than others. You should seek success in anything you do, no matter what it is that you do. But I didn't seek to be rich. Money is great. I went a long time in the music business without it. You know, with a tip jar that I had to pass around. Lost a car. When I first moved down there, I was singing for Little Kids Cancer Research. I always gave myself, even when I would be the charity that I probably needed. You know, singing for Little Kids Cancer Research, walked out to the parking lot where I parked, and my car was repossessed because I'd done so much promotion on the event. But you struggle through the tough times that makes you humble. And what I prayed for that day was to make a difference in music and make a difference in people's lives. And most importantly, to be a good person, a better man. So as I made my way through this tough, crazy world of music, I always kept that as the forefront. Even as I started to see success, because you see success and it can drop off, and it comes back and it drops off. But I can tell you that making that leap of faith and saying, I'm going to be a good person from here on out. And I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir, to this amazing group of people out here. And I've got to know some of you. But everything that you guys are doing, everything that you guys are about, is truly amazing and inspires me. But to some of the people that might be listening online or future artists, I can tell you, if you commit to being a good person, it may take a little bit longer, but you're going to get there. If you truly believe in what you're doing and in yourself, and you live your life that way, which I did, it took a long time, but I found my way. And no one can take that away from me. I live an amazing life, a beautiful family, a successful life and career in music. I opened up for some of the biggest acts in country music and sing to survivors. And I can tell you, I made that wish, and it took 8 or 9 years for it to come true. But when you have a person that says a song that you've written, we've got Superman was the first one. I'm Not Alone. We Are Warriors. You guys look those up. Superman was on CMT. The video was on CMT GAC. Gave it a huge national stage. Gave me an opportunity to bring awareness for men to be checked for prostate cancer. Because men do not want to go to the doctor. We don't want to go to the doctor, do we? No. Not unless something's wrong, right? We don't like to go to the dentist. We don't like to do anything like that. But we're not Superman. We have to. And it's given me a stage to be able to do that. And there was such a need for that. But that was my prayer answered. And now I have, emails, Facebook messages, text messages, phone calls, saying, my husband, he might not tell you, but he wakes up to your song every day. I've got 2 men the other day sent me a video singing We Are Warriors as they were getting their chemo treatments, as they were injecting chemo into their blood. Same guy that was singing cancer research by himself, 2 hours from Nashville. When he first moved there, got his car repossessed. Never gave up. So I can say to all those young aspiring people that want to be great, never give up. Work hard, be passionate, be genuine, be a good person. And I live a life now I just feel such at ease because I know I'm excited. When my phone rings or I get a new email, there's another opportunity to do something amazing that's coming. It takes a long time, but it will be there if you are a good person. I've got to thank a lot of people for being here tonight. First of all, my family over here. My mom's in the house. Miranda. She has quit her job as an audiologist and hearing doctor to come full-time with me, which is huge. huge because she has left her passion behind because she's so passionate. She's at those walks and runs, and she cries every time I sing to the survivors, and we honor them. So thank you. My newborn child, Charleston, is here. He's 7 weeks old today. This is his first award ceremony. Zero Cancer, you know, the national spokesperson for Zero Cancer, have been for 4 or 5 years. Thank you for giving me that platform to do what I do, and we continue on. And you know, the JCs, thank you guys. You know, what does it mean for me to win the TOYA Award? It's amazing, and you guys, you're putting fuel in all our jets, because I've met all the toys today and yesterday, and we've been hanging out. We've already got stuff cooking, man. You know what I mean? I'm serious. I'm not even joking around. We got our phone numbers. We already planned out certain events. So, you know, you guys there's things that are happening right here, right now, because you guys are an amazing amount of people to do all this and all the great things that you do on your own. So we are all honored. I'm very, very honored to be a part of this. I got to thank Prince and Madonna for not even only being a musical inspiration to my life, but for nominating me for the past 3 years. Emily and Brent, I didn't see it this morning. And I got to give it up to all my fans that have supported me through the years to allow me to do this, those that have donated for all the things. And I want to dedicate my award to all the survivors, the warriors that go through the lupron shots, the radiation, the surgeries, the scars on scars that they go through. This is their award. It wouldn't be here without them. So to all those survivors and warriors out there and all those that have been at my walks and runs, this one's for you. Thank you guys, and God bless.
Thank you, Jimmy, for being a superman to so many great warriors. Our next recipient's motto is to continue to serve. Let us learn more about Eric Servo-Servion.
Eric Servo-Servion has served his country in the Nebraska Army National Guard since 2008, but it wasn't until deployment to Afghanistan in 2016 as a flight medic that Eric found his passion for service. It was then that he learned the value of human life, what it means to be a leader, and the need for high-quality leaders at all levels of government. Upon his return home, he adopted hashtag Continue to Serve as his personal hashtag and philosophy on life. One of the first organizations Eric became involved with was Metro Young Latinos Professional Association, MILPA, a social club for Latino young professionals. In 2018, Eric was elected president of MILPA and began transforming the organization from a social club to a professional organization dedicated to amplifying the power of young Latinos through professional development and civic engagement. Throughout 2018, Eric pushed MILPA to raise funds for dreamers to attend college, resulting in 9 one-year full-ride scholarships. MILPA's signature event, Somos El Futuro, had record-breaking attendance with a 2018 theme of Latina Power. Eric's desire to elevate those around him is always at the forefront of his mind, and the luncheon allowed young Latinos and Latinas to see, in person, personifications of leadership and success. A founding member of Nebraska's Unity PAC, a PAC dedicated to identifying, recruiting, and supporting diverse candidates to run for office, Eric understands the impact of Latino community in government. While he unsuccessfully ran for school board, he learned much from the experience and looks forward to using those lessons in 2020. Eric lives in Omaha, Nebraska with his wife, Sam Elise. Please welcome one of her 2019 10 Outstanding Young Americans, Eric Servo.
I've been accused in the past of being be over-prepared for speeches, so I'm going to wing this one. First, I want to give a special shout-out to Wild Tanaska, the men and women of Wild Tanaska, for being so nice and having me over for dinner last night. We had some great Italian food. Thank you so much. Thank you to Vanessa and Jessica for making this such a painless experience. And thank you to all these fellow TOYA honorees. You are just some amazing people. I also have some more thank yous to give out. My mother, she's an immigrant from El Salvador, and she came over crammed like a sardine in the bed of a 18-wheeler trailer. And that's how she crossed the border. My dad, he crossed by going about 700 miles across deserts with a jug of water that was always out. And they did that to give my family, to give me just a chance to do some good in this world. My dad passed away when I was younger from alcoholism, and he always wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer. I hope that being a 10 outstanding young American is good enough. To the JCs from all these amazing states or America and across the world, I do have a message for you, and that's to continue to serve. I'm really big on servant leadership, and I love servant leadership because one of the basic tenets is that you serve first and you lead second. Another tenet is that you develop those around you into more leaders, because nobody does it alone. Nobody that gets on the podium and wins some recognition, big or small, does it alone. So create more leaders wherever you are. The choice to serve for me was what got me to enlist in the Nebraska Army National Guard. The choice to serve is what got me in Afghanistan in 16, 17, where I was a flight medic. And as a flight medic, all those veterans and military in the room know, being called flight medic, things are going very bad for somebody. On August 26, 2016, something was going really bad for 10 people that day. And I was the lead flight medic. And we flew out, and it's 2 Black Hawks. I'm the lead Black Hawk. And we're about to land in the LZ, right in the landing zone. And it's a hot LZ. That means that there's no small arms fire. And as we're in the short and final, and those veterans again, you know there's a very distinct pop when an RPG goes off. An RPG went off, and we had to bank right really fast. And because of the small arms fire, only the lead helicopter could land. That was me. That was me as the lead medic, and they didn't bring one person, like I said. They brought in 10 wounded and deceased soldiers onto my Black Hawk. 10 patients, 1 medic, and it was a 6-minute flight from the LZ to the hospital, but it felt like eternity. And in 6 minutes with 10 patients, there's not much I can do. I can maybe reach a hand out and comfort them. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I reached out a hand. I'm glad that I chose to continue to serve. I didn't find out until months later that a lot of the soldiers that were around the Black Hawk were fighting off some terrorists, because apparently there's a big bounty on Black Hawks. Like if you shoot down a Black Hawk, you get a big bounty. They were holding them off because they needed their buddies to get home safely. I didn't learn until later that one of those soldiers that was on my Black Hawk, it was an IED, and he had shrapnel wounds all over his neck. And I could only spend a minute with him, but I did what I could. I got him alive to the hospital. 2 months later, he ran out the American flag at a Seattle Seahawks game. You don't do it for the medals. You don't do it for the accolades. You do it to save that one person's life, to make a difference in that one person's life. And I'm very grateful that I was able to do that for that person. So again, thank you so very much for honoring me and TOYA's, fellow TOYAs, and please always remember to continue to serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, for your service and for inspiring us all to continue to serve. I think I'll stick with that, Michigan, what he said. Okay. Our next honoree saw a change that needed to be made and found a way to make it happen. Please join us in learning more about Jason Coleman.
Upon graduation from college with a degree in mechanical engineering, Jason began his career. He soon realized the lack of diversity in the technology workforce. With jobs in science, technology, engineering, and math expected to double the growth of all fields, he knew the disparity must be addressed. Despite a successful career, Jason's true passion was in teaching others about STEM. In 2009, Jason co-founded Project Sincere, a not-for-profit organization which provides STEM programming to youth, specifically to minorities, women, and underserved communities. The program's focus is to help students develop an early foundation in math and science. The mission of Project Sincere is to prepare the minds and create pathways for students to pursue careers in STEM. Scientific inquiry and directing them to a deeper level of understanding helps raise their test scores, improve critical thinking and problem-solving skills, and increases students' overall enthusiasm for school. The innovative program has been inspirational in changing the way math and science are taught in Chicago schools. The program's students participate in a wide range of activities, from building a robot, programming video games, learning about digital electronics, and designing and building sustainable communities with solar technology. Since 2009, over 18,000 students throughout Chicago have been served, an average of 3,500 students annually. Project Sincere has had inquiries and requests from across the country for this type of programming. The staff of 25 is working on a program that can be packaged and replicated in other locations. Jason lives in Chicago, Illinois, with his wife Janine and their son Jackson. Please welcome one of your 2019 10 Outstanding Young Americans, Jason Coleman.
So thank you all, and good evening. So I do have a prepared speech, so please excuse me reading from my phone. But I would first like to thank the JCs for recognizing me as one of the 10 Outstanding Young Americans for 2019. This is truly an amazing event. I've been able to meet so many amazing people, and it's truly inspiring to be around so many other people who are also dedicated to service. But for me, my journey began 10 years ago when I took a leap of faith and led my career in corporate America as a mechanical engineer to start an organization that will provide transformational opportunities to youth, to both inspire and engage them in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math, or commonly known as STEM. It was during my early years in corporate America that I witnessed the lack of diversity in these fields, and I felt that change was necessary. I wanted to be the change agent for my community to help more underserved youth also develop their passion and interest for engineering, so that they could one day become the innovators of the technology that change and shape the world in which we live. I believe in the phrase that you cannot be what you don't see. And for me, it was important that young people were not only able to see themselves as leaders in their technical careers, but also that they had the opportunity to develop the confidence and skills required for success in these areas. Over the last 10 years, Project Sincere has grown into one of the largest STEM organizations in Chicago, serving more than 4,000 students annually. Our innovative approach to engaging students in hands-on learning and connecting them with the necessary opportunities for success have truly been transformational for these youth. Over 94% of the students from our out-of-school time programs have gone to four-year universities to major in STEM disciplines. This is something that I'm extremely proud of. Over the next 10 years, I'm looking to continue to expand our reach beyond the borders of Chicago by scaling both nationally and internationally. As we know, engineers are responsible for the development of innovations that transform the world in which we live. And we want to ensure that students, especially those from underserved communities, have the access that they need to thrive in these fields. A slogan that we live by is I do. I equals DO. And this stands for innovation is equal to diversity times opportunity. We at Project Sincere provide the diversity of the the new folks to kind of come in, and our partners provide the opportunities to these students. Because we truly believe that if there's no opportunity, then there's no diversity. If there's no diversity, then there's no creativity. And if there's no creativity, then there's no innovation. And if there's no innovation, then the quality of our future is at stake. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jason, for making STEM education a reality for so many. You know, servant leadership is a driving force for our next honoree. That's Marjorie K. Eastman.
Marjorie K. Eastman was a White House intern and undergraduate student at University of California in 2000. Just a few years later, she was one of 56 nationally selected to receive the FBI Honors Internship while a graduate student at the Joseph Corpus School of International Studies at the University of Denver. Marjorie served 10 years as a United States Army Intelligence Officer and Commander, enlisting in the spring of 2002. Following her first combat tour in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom, Marjorie was awarded a direct commission, which is granted to less than 10% of military officers. Following the deployment cycle for 2009 and 2010, she was ranked the #1 military intelligence company commander in eastern Afghanistan and awarded the Bronze Star for meritorious service as combat commander and received the Combat Action Badge. Marjorie has been a shining example to women that family doesn't have to be paused while pursuing your dreams. She continued to attend classes via Skype just 6 days after giving birth to her son and managed school, work, and family while her husband was deployed. At 6 months old, Marjorie's son was diagnosed with neuroblastoma cancer. Despite the burden and fear that went with this diagnosis, she maintained her classwork and graduated. After 5 years of shouldering the weight of her son's health needs, he was declared cancer-free in 2018. All that inspiration she learned serving beside the men and women who represent the very best of what it means to be an American. She wrote The Frontline Generation, How We Serve Post 9/11. Marjorie continues to shape the narrative for veterans and women. She created the 2019 bicycle collector's item, the Post 9/11 Deck of 52, a spin-off of the 2003 Most Wanted Iraqi playing cards, flipping the script to bring awareness and highlight the post 9/11 military community as a positive force in American culture. Marjorie lives in Cary, North Carolina with her husband Charles and son Hank. Please welcome one of your 2019 10 Outstanding Young Americans, Marjorie K. Eastman.
Wow. So I don't know if any of you know this, but we didn't see our videos before. And I want to just pause right here and recognize the person that put these videos together. Would you please stand up? Truly talented, just wonderful videos. Thank you for helping tell all of our stories. I am honored to be here tonight and to be recognized by an organization that is comprised of men and women who are servant leaders. I am humbled to receive this award because the whole notion of the award is wrapped around the idea of how I walk in this world as a citizen. And that means so much to me that you're recognizing that walk. So thank you. In my lifetime, I have been in the company of heroes. Now I have new motivation to rise to challenges and opportunities, being in the company of TOYA recipients. You know, those household names like Elvis Presley, John F. Kennedy, George Stephanopoulos, if I said that right, who are the Chuck Yeager, my husband's personal favorite as a pilot, of course, he loves that guy. But the household name you may not know, and the one TOYA recipient that had the greatest impact on my life, is 2005 recipient, quiet professional, Dr. Hans Mum. Could you please say So our paths were connected before we knew they were connected. In 2003, Dr. Mum created the Iraqi Most Wanted deck. And we didn't know each other at all then. But fast forward to 2019, and that deck of cards inspired me to create the deck of good guys, our military community and family. And so right now, Bicycle has a collectible that is honoring and showcasing our military community in a way that really tells our story as a positive force in our culture and our economy. Hans, I can't thank you enough for being a light, being a role model, and being a friend. Thank you very much, and for nominating me tonight. You know, my cup is just overflowing, and I'm so much gratitude. I want to be respectful of time and not list off a million names, because I could do that tonight. I want to thank my parents, my family, my friends, my colleagues, my mentors throughout life. You know, I heard a quote once, and it really resonates around this notion of all these people. And you know, someone said, I think it was David said earlier, we don't get here alone, do we? Well, this quote that I had heard was, when you know that you are loved, it frees you up. It is a source of power. And I am just so grateful for all of that love and all of my blessings. Two blessings that I will absolutely talk about and spend some time on are two men in my life, one being my husband, Charles, and one being the little man that I have the honor of calling my son, Hank. Charles and Hank, they make life feel like Christmas lights are up all year long. I am just so blessed. They are love, they are support, they are my muse, they are sunrise and sunset, and I am so grateful to both of them from the bottom of my heart. And so I'd like to thank that man that gave me this last name. Charles, my husband, is with us tonight. My little boy is being babysat by our wonderful sister-in-law. So my husband is here tonight. And I just wanted to, you know, when Eric was talking about those helicopter pilots that come in, my husband was a helicopter pilot in the United States military for 20 years, and he served 17 combat deployments. Final thought to capture tonight and really the sentiment of this award, it comes down to something that happened to me a couple of years ago. When my book released, I was asked to be on a panel with the Council on Foreign Relations. And after boarding my flight, and it was Southwest, thank goodness I had registered earlier down in Roubaix, because I always forget to do that. I grabbed and snagged my window seat, and I'm sitting there, and I began to think about what was going to be the most memorable part of being on a panel with CFR, because with someone with my background, my experience, the CFR is like a Super Bowl, right, for people that have our passion and interest. And I was going to be on a panel of thought leaders that I deeply admired, Sebastian Younger to Gil Malone. Well, the most memorable part of that trip happened on that flight while I'm sitting in that window seat, not in the window seat, next to the window, and a World War II veteran sat down next to me. So once we discovered we were both veterans, what do veterans do? We talk, right? We start going through, and he told me about, you know, his service in World War II, and later on in the Korean War. I told him about mine in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and my time in Afghanistan. Well, about halfway through the flight, he leans in a little bit closer, and he said, do you mind if I ask you a personal question? Well, like you, I love it when strangers want to ask me personal questions. But what do you say to a World War II veteran? You say, no problem, sir, right? Sure, ask away. Well, then he leans in a little bit more, and in a lower voice, he asks me, was there anything over there worth fighting for? I've had a lot of people try to ask me that question, and the way that he asked it was perfect, and I knew my answer immediately, inspired by our conversation. I looked into his old, gentle eyes, and I said, yes, they were to my left and to my right. And he nodded, and he said, I know. I know. He knows, and I know, which are timeless truths, which will always has been and always will be, that it is always about the person to your left and to your right. And the timeless truth that you learn this in combat or here at home, it is always about the person to your left and to your right. Because this is what it's about. The front line is not a place. It is us. It is people to your left and to your right. We heard earlier about, stepping up to the front line and sex trafficking, and stepping up the front line of approaching, the need for underserved communities via STEM. Each and every one of us has the opportunity to step up and help in some way and find our front line and be part of our era's frontline generation. So, last thought for tonight, friends, I implore you, continue to live with purpose, live for each other, and lead. Thank you.
Thank you, Marjorie, for all you've given and all you're continuing to give. We have one more intermission to take, ladies and gentlemen. We want to remind you that besides the one in this room, we have another bar just outside the door. Be sure to keep this break relatively brief, because in the final 5 minutes of it, we will be hearing the live music of Jimmy Charles. So we'll be back in 10 real-time minutes, JCs, and then we'll get tonight's ceremony wrapped up.
Can we interest you
we hear from Jimmy Charles, and we'll get the finale of tonight's ceremony underway. Just a couple moments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to tonight's 81st 10 Outstanding Young American ceremony. And as promised, please welcome once again, Jimmy Charles.
Hey everybody! I'm so happy once again. Thank you all so much. They asked me to sing one of my new songs. It started off with Superman, was a big song within the cancer community, and now this is a new song that I just wrote from my experiences with warriors. And cancer survivors are warriors from their chemotherapy, their radiation, their surgeries, their scars on scars, their blueprint shots. Absolutely warriors. I wrote a new song, it's being played on Relay for Lives all across the country, of course, Zero Cancer Walk Runs, and it was just released. It's going to be a huge, amazing song. I want to dedicate it to some special people here tonight. We have a prostate cancer survivor in the house tonight right here. Ron, this one's for you, buddy. I'm out there fighting for you. Marjorie, your son, Hank, got childhood cancer. It's not even fair. And he's a survivor. He's a warrior. My wife's father passed away within 2 weeks of us knowing, and that was tough. Emily, your mom. So, Peter, your mother. Look at that, just in this room. Every 18 minutes, a man dies just from prostate cancer. We're not even just talking about prostate cancer. This thing needs to go away. But the people that are suffering right now, they are warriors. And this song is for you. It's called We Are Warriors. This ain't a fire out picked, heavy out of the blue. It's the kind of news you never thought could ever happen to you. Try to shake your faith, make your world stand still. You thought I'd give up, but I never will. 'Cause we are warriors, we are survivors. We're still breathing, hearts still beat on this battleground. We are an army, we are a family. Brothers, sisters, never quitters. You can't keep us down. We are warriors. We are warriors. Yeah, we got home through all the pain. We carry each other, take it day by day. We got scars on scars that we wear with pride. When you think we're out of fight, we find more inside. 'Cause we are warriors, we are survivors. We're still breathing, hearts still beating on this battleground. We are an army, we are a family. Brothers, sisters, never quit. You can't keep us down. 'Cause we are warriors. We are warriors. Hand in hand we walk together. And on there's nothing we can conquer. 'Cause we are warriors, we are survivors. We're still breathing, hearts still beating on this battleground. We are an army, we are a family. Brothers, sisters, never quit. You can't keep us down. We are warriors. We are warriors. You wanna say, we are warriors. We are warriors. We are
TOYA honoree Jimmy Charles, everyone. Thank you so much, Jimmy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back, of course. And our next honoree this evening is an example of reinventing yourself, serving as a mentor to others. We want to learn a little more about Lindsay Gast.
In 2004, Lindsay Gast left a successful career in marketing and public relations to become a stay-at-home mom to her twins. Unfortunately, in 2014, her marriage ended and she found herself in a place she never expected, alone, with low self-esteem and 2 children to support. In the 10 years Lindsay was out of her field, it changed dramatically. When she left the workforce, Facebook was not the household name it is today, and social media was quickly becoming a dominant medium. She couldn't find work in her field of expertise. When the marketing and PR industry didn't think she had the skills to compete, she started her own firm. She took odd jobs and house cleaning work until she was able to build relationships through freelance work. Her determination to keep her kids in the same home they grew up in, and to be there for them in the afternoons after school, was of the most importance to Lindsay. Her tenacity and motivation pushed her to success. In 2015, her company, Gast House Public Relations, officially launched. In 2017, revenue was up 75% over the previous year, and up 66% in 2018. Her portfolio expands across many industries, from fast food restaurants to grocery store chains to children's hospitals. Lindsay has become a well-respected businesswoman in the Jacksonville, Florida area. She has been selected as one of 2018 Jacksonville's 40 Under 40 and Leading Ladies in 2017 and 2018 by the Jacksonville Business Journal. She has been selected 3 times as a professional mentor for Biz Women Mentoring Monday, where she helps guide women in developing their business. In addition to being a mother, running her own business, and mentoring other women, Lindsay still finds time to give back to her community through her involvement in the Jacksonville JCs, Jacksonville Exchange Club, and pro bono work for local nonprofits. Lindsay Gast lives in St. John's, Florida with her 12-year-old twins, Allie and Gavin. Please welcome one of her 2019 10 Outstanding Young Americans, Lindsay Gast.
really an incredible honor and a surprise to even be accepting such a prestigious award. When they sent me the email, my first response was, "Did you mean to send this to me?" She said, yeah, that was intentional. So, of course, then, like they said, it had been a long time. Had been in a dark spot. Like they said in the video, I had no job. I had 2 kids. I was fresh out of a divorce, and Facebook wasn't even a thing. So for those youngsters in the room, that's back when your phones used to only make phone calls. And so first thing I did, of course, was tell my family, and I said, "You guys aren't going to believe this." And of course, they applaud my success, my triumph over adversity. And the thing about success, though, is not an achievement. It's not something you accomplish. Success is a mindset. It's a mindset of never giving up and never accepting failure, because the only time you can fail is when you quit trying. It was my dad telling me to make sure you work hard before you play hard. It was my mom on the other end of the phone saying, "It's okay, relax, tomorrow's gonna be better, just get a good night's sleep." It's working just as hard for $1 that you do for 100, because you remember when that dollar felt like 100. And it's surrounding yourself with a village who truly believes in you and supports you in those times that you don't believe in yourself. So this award is for my village, and I'm eternally grateful for them. To my mom and dad, to my kids, Hallie and Gavin, to my friends, my extended family, to the Jacksonville JCs for supporting me, Molly for starting this whole process by nominating me for the Florida Awards, and Brian for apparently writing a flawless application for the National Award. It's really been amazing, and I thank you. And I especially thank the JCs for not only honoring, but fostering those successful mindsets across the nation. So thank you. Be good to your village, take care of your village, and take care of each other.
Thank you, Lindsay, for the example you set, and continue with your service to the Jacksonville community. And thank you, Jason, for making entrance into the STEM fields a reality for so many. Sorry we didn't mention that earlier. Our next honoree is working to help preserve the delicate ecosystem in his home state. Please meet Kyle Rawson.
In 2015, Kyle Rawson and his twin brother Keith founded Mang, LLC, a clothing and apparel company. The company's mission is to change the world one mangrove at a time. Mangroves are a critical life source for the environment. They're groups of trees and shrubs that live along the coast in an area that's exposed during low tide and covered in water during high tide. Kyle recognized that the mangrove population was decreasing due to coastal development, natural disasters, shrimp farming, and charcoal farming. Mang Clothing and Apparel was started with the philosophy of buy one, plant one. The initiative was developed to give back and, most importantly, protect the coastlines by planting one mangrove for each piece of clothing purchased. The mangroves provide habitat for wildlife and are critical to providing basic nutrients along the shoreline. Rising sea levels is a concern along our nation's coastlines, with just a 6-inch rise in sea level crippling half of Florida's flood control capacity. Mang has planted over 52,000 mangroves, which establishes shoreline and helps buffer land erosion and decreases sediment overload. Florida is not the only location where Kyle's concern for the environment and others resides. Earlier this month, in the immediate aftermath of Hurricane Dorian, Kyle organized a relief trip to the Bahamas, and Mang sold a special shirt to help raise funds for those relief efforts. In addition to planting mangroves, Kyle also is creating awareness and educating others on the benefits of mangrove ecosystems. Kyle believes educating the next generation on the importance of mangroves is just as important as the planting itself. Kyle resides in West Palm Beach, Florida with his girlfriend Samantha. Please welcome one of your 2019 10 Outstanding Young Americans, Kyle Larson.
Well, honored. I guess you guys know I like fishing. So that's great. So I do want to give a big thanks to my twin brother. We're identical mirror image. And without him, man wouldn't be where we are today. He's creative, I'm analytical. You know how most people say that they wish they had a duplicate? I created a duplicate. So we've done so much together in the past 4 years. We actually just struck our anniversary, I think, today, 4 years ago. So it's a big accomplishment. This was my first real business adventure. We've made it a success. And I thank my family, my father, mother, my girlfriend, everyone back in Florida that's helped us on our journey. It really has been an eye-opener to realize that our environment really needs our help. A lot of people in this room help people. I help people and the environment. We educate the young. One of our big things that we do is we give back to our schools. So I hold probably about 12 seminars a year with different elementary, high schools. We're working on an online platform too that you can learn about mangrove ecosystems online. So why do I plant mangroves, right? What's up with mangroves? So we started planting mangroves as a way to give back, one through our apparel, but as a way to give back to our coastal ecosystems. Fish like that snook that was in that picture rely upon healthy ecosystems to thrive and survive. Mangroves are the foundation for everything in our estuaries. And estuaries, for those of you that are from the north, estuaries are where saltwater and freshwater meet. And those estuaries are the balance for our offshore and inshore ecosystems. So mangroves are the foundation. They set the roots, they hold our shorelines during times of storm events, they provide all the nutrients, they provide safety and harbor for our fish, birds, and aquatic species. Over 500 native bird species in North America use mangrove ecosystems in our estuary ecosystems in Florida to have, procreate, to make life. So one thing I really want to touch on is they really are keystone, and they are out of Florida. So in 2018, we launched our international campaign. We ventured to Madagascar. Madagascar was our first international project. From there, we went to Guanaja, Honduras, a little small fishing village island in the middle of nowhere. No one could find it. You can hardly find it on a map. Each location has a different reason for why mangroves are on the decline. We next ventured to Mozambique, where truffle farming was depleting the mangroves there. And then we went to Indonesia, where shrimp farming, we all love shrimp, I know. It's a sad thing, but shrimp kills mangrove ecosystems because we destroy those mangroves that live along the shorelines. So to wrap it all up, I really want to just thank everyone once again for letting me be here and the gracious opportunity to be a TOYA recipient. And I always love this whole thing. No matter what age you are, we can all make a difference. I really think that sets in. That's the last quote that each one of my education seminars ends on. And I want to thank you guys once again. My name is Kyle Rawson, and we will change the world one mangrove at a time.
Thank you, Kyle, for all your work in preserving the environment. And our next TOYA recipient spreads a message of the power of positivity wherever he goes. Let's learn more about world percussionist Alex Simon.
In 2002, Alex Simon took his love of music to New York City. Alongside many of the great street performers of our generation, he began to find his rhythm that would define his life and his path to being a world-class percussionist. Those moments created a pathway to the future, a role in the off-Broadway hit Stump. Alex spent the next 10 years performing in the show across the country. After his time in Stump, Alex returned home to Canton, Ohio, and began thinking how he could give back to his community while doing what he loves. Dear to his heart was the subject of anti-bullying. In high school, his best friend Terry tragically committed suicide because of the pressures of bullying. He decided to use Terry's memory to dedicate his life to teaching respect and love to children. His music became a platform to create change. He has traveled across Ohio and to neighboring states, performing in schools where his mix of street smarts and stage experience allows him to connect with children and teachers. His school assemblies are not the normal lectures heard, but high-energy rocking concerts about respect, love, and believing in yourself. His message is about inclusivity, respecting others and yourself, and simply believing anything is possible. Alex's approach to anti-bullying has led him to being recognized several times, including a BME Genius Award. This award is given to community builders for their positive contributions to society, and Alex was asked to be on a panel in Washington, D.C. to discuss anti-bullying. Alex lives in Canton, Ohio, and is currently on a world tour with his jazz band, Pieces of a Dream. Please welcome one of your 2019 10 Outstanding Young Americans, Alex Simon.
I'm last. I was about to go upstairs and take a nap and come back downstairs, but man, I don't know what to say. I'm humbled. I have to give thanks to God first, the Creator, whatever you believe in, whatever you say. I can't tell you what to believe in, so I just say the Creator, God, the universe. Without God, none of this, I wouldn't be here. Second, my mom. I'm a mama's boy. I am a mama's boy, and I'm proud of it. I have a big family. My aunts, you know, when something's wrong with me, if I'm having a down day, my mom will text me, and next thing you know, I get eight or nine texts from all my aunts saying, "Hey, are you okay?" Our family's close. My girl, Carolyn, I love you. My girlfriend, I love you. She's my rock. She's helped me tremendously. My close friends, my BB community, my Stomp family, Luke Cresswell, Steve McNicholas, the creators of the show Stomp, they seen something in me, and I just want to, you know, we just did the 25th year reunion show in New York City. The Cleveland Cavaliers, my 216 brothers, the Cleveland Cavaliers organization, thank you for letting me be part of the entertainment team. And just, you know, just people that love me, the kids out there who trust me to tell me their deepest secrets, the kids out there in school when I see, tell me that, hey, Brother Alec, I don't have any friends. Brother Alec, I eat lunch alone. Brother Alec, my mom can't afford Jordans. My mom can't afford name brand things. When my best friend committed suicide, we were 16 years old, and I just seen him 2 hours before he did it. I had wrestling practice. I'm an athlete, and I'll never forget my friend Terry. My best friend's name is Terry, but my friend Terry Smith was coming down the street crying, and Terry was a wrestling champ. You know, you had that one friend that don't show no emotion. Terry was coming down the street crying, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? And like, I just seen you in practice. He said, go in the house. So I go in the house, we turn the news on, and this news reporter's on the highway talking. I'm like, okay, what's this? He's like, turn it to another channel. Turn it to another channel. Another newscaster stands on the highway and says, young teen runs out to oncoming traffic. So I'm like, okay, what's up? The name goes across the screen. They show glasses on the highway. Name goes across the screen. It was my best friend, Terry Ford. My heart dropped.
I said, I just talked to him. He did it because somebody else's child picked on him. Somebody else's child picked on him. So everything starts at home. How you raise your kids starts at how you do with your kids starts at home. Is how they're going to take it out to the world. So I didn't believe it until the funeral. Didn't believe it. You know, when you go to a funeral, you peek around the corner, you see flowers, then you see the end of the casket. Then you walk a little closer, and you smell the flowers, you smell everything. I didn't believe it was real until I seen my friend laying in a box. I said, what are you doing in here? I said, why would you let these cowards make you take your own life? And I remember one time we went on a hike. We did everything. We was in Boy Scouts together. Remember one time we went on a hike. We sat on the hill. We was eating brownies. I'll never forget it. Miss Betsy's mom made us brownies. And he cried, and he said, I'm so sick of being here. I said, what do you mean? I said, what are you talking about? He said, I'm just tired of it. He was tired of people picking on him. So when I do my anti-bullying, I don't like calling anti-bullying shows, assemblies. I like calling them life assemblies because my message is for teachers and principals too. So I tell teachers, like, hey, you should be getting paid more than an athlete. You mean to tell me a person can take a ball and dribble it and shoot it in a net and get more than a teacher? That doesn't add up. So I have a message for teachers as well as students. And then I tell students at the end of my show, we sing Don't Stop Believing. I have a tattoo on my arm that says believe. My neck says blessed. This tattoo on my right says stay focused. My chest says never give up. My back, I have a tattoo that says warrior because Ultimate Warrior was my favorite wrestler. And I am just like he said, warrior, that brought the, like what Jimmy was saying, that just got me ready. I wanted to go to the gym just right now because he got me pumped. I promise you, I was ready to go to the gym. But the thing about it is, the word warrior means something. So when I wake up in the morning, I see all these things in the mirror, get showered, and brush my teeth and look. And I look in the mirror and I say, Ella, you cannot hustle yourself. Everybody in this room has hustled themselves at least one time. We think we're doing something, we think we're working hard, we think we're doing stuff, but we know we can do more. Denzel Washington said, you can run in place and not get nowhere. Don't confuse movement with progress. Don't confuse, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Don't confuse it. If you know you can do more in your community, you know you can save a life, and you know you can do more, get up and do more. Don't sleep in. Let that other person sleep in. So, my mission in life, I believe God has me on this earth to help people. I tried to ignore his voice. I was in Lima, Peru, doing stomp. I was sitting on my balcony. I had a glass of wine, and I said, I'm done. People said, what do you mean you're done? I said, it's time for me to go home and change lives and use music. My show is a motivational musical. I tell my story. I call up people from the audience and put them on drums, and it turns into a big party. Couple tears shed because I really dig in. But I'm going to tell all you people out here who have kids. Who has kids? Raise your hand. I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't know everybody's names here, but I'm a straight shooter. Raise your kids to have chores. Raise your kids to have responsibilities. Your grass needs cut, make them go out and cut it. If the trash needs taken out, make them go take the trash out. Because you don't want them growing up thinking somebody owes them something. I had a problem with that. I'm like, yeah, I go to work. I drum for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm on TV all the time drumming and having fun. And some people I walk past that I work with don't even know what I do. And it bothers me. I'm like, wait a minute, Ellen, they don't need to know what you do. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep doing what you're doing. I'm more than just a musician. I'm more than just a percussionist. And last but not least, I'm standing up for the kids who can't stand up for themselves. Yeah. I heard a story last night. Little boy Ethan heard his mother's in here. I'm not going to tell you who he is, but she told me a story about her son Ethan, and I broke down crying when I got to my room. She said, "Ella, he don't have no friends. He just comes home and plays a game, and he has a disability and this and that." I'm like, "Don't tell me no more. I can't take it. I'm a softie. I can't take it." But the thing about it is, people like Ethan is the people I'm sticking up for. So tell your kids, if they see somebody sitting at lunch eating by themselves, tell them to be the difference and say, hey, come eat with me. And if they're friends at the table, say, don't invite him. Say, you get up and you go eat with them anyway. Be different. So I want to thank you, JC, Toya, Annie. Thank you so much, Annie. I love you so much. Thank you for even nominating me. Thank you for calling me and nominating me for this. But Lori, David, Peter, Jimmy, Eric, Jason, Marjorie, Lindsay, Kyle, and Ellen. We're all family now. We just made it into a family together, so we have to keep going. We have to keep in touch. Just don't let this be our one time where we're just having fun, having drinks, and getting free meals. Let's actually stay together. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Peace.
Wow. That's quite the evening. Thanks to Ellen for continuing to share the power of positivity. How about that? Couple brief announcements for you. If you had a tab at the bar outside the room, that bar is closed, but the good news is they transferred your tabs to these fine bartenders right back here. Inside the room right here. Also, the JCI 100 party is celebrating our centennial of the U.S. Junior Chamber. Is in here about 20 minutes after we wrap up in just a few moments. So how about congratulations once again to all your 2019 TOYA recipients. Thank you to all our honored guests, JCI USA, JCI Missouri, and all of you for attending tonight. I hope what you've heard tonight has inspired you. I know it has me. What do you say? All the folks who have been honored over the last 81 years serve as a source of inspiration for us all in JCI USA. At the time, a lot of recipients weren't well known when they were recognized, but they were nominated because a JC saw something in them that inspired legacy. So would all the TOYA recipients in the room kindly stand together and be recognized no matter what year it was. Ladies and gentlemen. And we should point out, ladies and gentlemen, that person who created the videos tonight with both the video and audio production is the 2017 TOYA honoree, Ken Ramundi, right here. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to close our program, as we used to say in 15,000-seat basketball arenas, clear the aisles and welcome with me the woman who's challenged JCI USA to be the change from Illinois, the 99th president of Junior Chamber International USA, Trisha Beatty.
Thank you. Woo! I don't know how I'm going to follow up the speech with everything that you guys just did and spoke about and everything like that, but what an amazing group, what an amazing class this year. They pretty much said everything that I would want to say. Get out, do everything, be in the community, be present. I mean, we have veterans, we've got Lindsay, Jason. You guys have done so much good stuff in the community. There's people like this all all around the country, all around the world. And it's just so humbling to see everything that you guys have done. But then we have all of our members here of this organization. You guys do great work every weekend out there. I see the projects. I'm going out to visit the projects. I've been traveling all over this year. It's been remarkable to see what you do. I'm not gonna lie, where's my Virginia Beach JCs? I was blown away at the ECSC. Blown away. Tony, good job. The biggest project I've ever been to, put on by that small chapter. I mean, 8 days of projects, and they dump $25 million back into that city every year from that project. Congratulations. But it's just normal people doing their job and doing their work and just being, we recognize that, but that's just normal to us. I go out, I mean, it's just helping with the barbecue or, you know, collecting food or helping with the kids dance. We do a million kids dances. Andrew, the DJ, I forgot. Andrew, thank you for coming here. Drove here all the way from Illinois with the sound system. But we do it all the time. It's just what we do. I've done it my whole life. I grew up, brownies, 4-H, CYO, band, anything, I was always volunteering, and that's what I do. And then I joined this organization. Little did I know when I joined, I just thought I joined the Highland JCs. I didn't know it was connected with anything else. And then I meet all these people. Join for one reason, stay for another. And just step outside of that comfort zone. I mean, Florida, you guys had some great winners here tonight. Congratulations on that. I got a chance to go there and see them before, so I knew what all the winners were there, and it was remarkable. I mean, you guys had a lot more great winners, so keep submitting. I mean, they submitted a whole bunch, and that's every state. Find those people and nominate them for the TOYA. That's what we're here for, but all in all, let's be the change and have a great year, and end this year with a successful 2019. Thank you. If I could get all the TOYA recipients up on stage real quick for a quick picture. Also, I want to thank Dan Mollering, our photographer here. Anytime you have an event, Dan is at it. Thank you for that, Dan. And Ken, I want to thank you for doing the video as well.
Drop your beard, Dan.
Thanks. James Ross. I know, right? Why are we going to put it? We've got this. Okay. That's a fine. Oh, I thought she said same seats. Sorry. Oh, yeah.
That's right, good selfie time for you guys. Chelsea, selfie time.
And a shout out to Facebook. Shout out to Facebook. You're good. Thanks to this guy. Thanks to that lovely lady on her.
Your 2019 TOYA class. Okay, if you guys all want to rise, we will adjourn with the creed. You guys can stay on stage. I just want you to jump back on. Oh, yeah. Okay, we believe faith in God is meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of man transcends the sovereignty of nations, that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise, that government should be of laws rather than of men, that Earth's great treasure lies in human personality, and that service to humanity is the best work of life. Thank you guys, and the celebration of the century will start here in about 20 minutes.
Okay, Facebook world, we're signing off. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. And if you didn't catch the live, we'll be posting this for a replay later. Thanks again and have a great evening.